So here we are out in Boulder with Ryan Van Duzer, a YouTuber who is all about getting off your sofa and getting outside, being active and being outdoors in nature. So we're gonna hear a little bit about what he has to say about getting youth involved with nature, but also just getting people off the couch. So yeah, Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel and what your whole philosophy is on getting
First of all,
people
it's really
outside?
good to see
Yeah, you
you. I
too.
can't believe you're taller than me now. But my philosophy, and it's been like this for a long time, is just inspiring people to get up off their couches and to go outside. And you don't have to be an elite athlete to do this. You don't have to have the most expensive gear. It's all about just going outside. And once you go outside, you breathe the fresh air, you see something beautiful like these, trees, birds, nature, and you feel more connected to nature. And when you feel more connected to nature, you want to protect nature, right?
Yeah.
And so that's been my whole goal with all the content that I make, is to hopefully get people outside and just appreciating what we have in our backyards.
Awesome. And so you do some crazy adventures. You've biked across the country, you do
Yeah.
100-mile races. It seems like on the daily.
Well, not today.
Not today, but maybe on the weekly or the monthly.
Yeah.
And so did you spend a lot of time outside in nature, like hanging out,
Yeah.
just exploring, or did that passion just
Yeah.
evolve as you
For sure.
matured, or how did
So
that start
luckily,
out?
I was born in Boulder, Colorado, and we have these beautiful mountains right outside our door. And at a very young age, I really enjoyed the freedom of riding my bicycle on my own. And so I remember when I was like in seventh grade, I got my first mountain bike, and I would just leave my house in North Boulder and ride up to the foothills and ride out to the Boulder Reservoir all by myself and just have the time of my life. I would catch snakes and lizards, and I felt like I was, Huck Finn out there, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, that was really what planted the seed to continue doing this as a career.
Awesome. So yeah, you're obviously a super active guy. It started in your youth with the freedom of getting around on the bike. Um, and you said you've been in Boulder your whole life here.
Pretty much, yeah. I travel a lot, but Boulder's always been home.
Okay, so what are the top 5 places Ryan Van Duzer around Boulder
Around Boulder,
that you love to just get out
and ride my
in the
bike.
afternoon, ride your bike?
I love the Eagle Trail up here, the north side of Boulder. There's not many people on it. It's not crowded like the downtown trail, Chautauqua or Sanitas. I do love Sanitas. I also love the Boulder Reservoir area. Man, I love just riding my bike up any of these mountain roads right here, because you can like take a bike ride for 5, 10, 15 minutes and be out in farmlands to the east, or like totally Rocky Mountains to the west.
Yeah.
So I love that we have a city, and it's a full on city.
Yeah.
And then just minutes away is some of the most beautiful nature in the world.
Sweet. So you did a column in the Daily Camera a while back, and that was all about telling people what to get outside. So what sort of stuff would you put in there?
So that was at the very beginning of online video, when YouTube first became a thing, and the Daily Camera came to me and said, "We want you to create videos, your outdoor adventure videos." I said, "All right, let's do it." So I would do any type of backyard adventure that anybody might want to do. And that could be as simple as riding your bike on the Boulder Creek path up the canyon a little bit and going on hikes up there. I did videos about, tubing Boulder Creek, not always extreme level stuff, because I wanted people to watch my content and say, "Oh, I want to go do that."
Yeah.
And again, you don't have to be like an amazing athlete to go outside. And so I highlighted just everyday adventures here in Boulder that the average person or family could go out and do.
Awesome. And then do you find in your travels you meet a lot of young people, and are you seeing them getting outside at all? I know you've been a lot of places and seen a lot of things. So are you seeing young kids a lot, and are they getting outside?
Well, and in Boulder, I think more than in other places,
Yeah.
I think that's instilled in this. I mean, people move here for a reason. It's because they love the outdoors.
Yeah.
And so if the parents are very active in getting outside, they're going to, hopefully pass that on to their kids. When I travel to other places around the country, that's not so much the case. You see handheld devices and video games and all that kind of stuff, and kids just don't really want to go outside because video games are so fun, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or they just don't have the athletic ability to go on a hike with their parents. But you have to start them young. And so that's another thing that I like to focus on in my videos, is really like talking to young people about the importance of just like going outside, riding your
Yeah.
bike. Like when I got a bike, my very first bike, it was my ticket to freedom, you know? And I think a lot of young people these days don't look at bikes and going outside in the same way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't want to sweat. It hurts. I
Yeah.
don't want to run, all that kind of stuff. So
And it doesn't have to be that hard. You can walk to a park nearby, just like
totally
this.
take your shoes off, walk barefoot in the grass, and you feel connected to nature.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it all starts.
Okay. And do you ever experience any eco anxiety thinking about the future of our planet?
Oh yeah,
Sort of any grief about climate change moving forward and
yeah,
that places might be disappearing and
absolutely. I mean, it's scientists all over the world have been screaming and yelling at us for years that the humans are having an incredibly negative impact on this planet in so many ways. Plastic production to air pollution, industrial waste, animal agriculture, deforestation. It is overwhelming and it is scary because we're going in the wrong direction. And I think a lot of people are finally catching on, but not enough people. And we have leadership in this country that aren't quite taking it seriously enough because humans, we love convenience. We don't want to um, do things the hard way. And sometimes to be more eco-friendly, you have to go out of your way to not buy single-use plastic water bottles or whatever it is. But it's, you go to Costco and you get a crate of them. It's so easy, buy the whole thing. And we don't see that all those bottles go to a landfill and they never break down, and they go to an ocean or whatever it is. And so a big part of what I do, I've never had a car in my life. I ride my bike everywhere. I'm a big bike advocate. I think if we can get more people riding their bikes at a young age, it's going to carry with them through their adult years. Less cars on the road, less dependence on fossil fuels, and that's just one little piece, And so I'm trying to do my part, but we need a lot more people like me, and even more like Greta from Sweden, who are really, leaders in the climate movement.
And when you are feeling overwhelmed at all, do you find just getting outside, taking a bike ride, even though you're not, I mean, it's obviously doing its part because you're not driving a car or something like that, but even just finding that way to clear your head and
Oh yeah,
getting a new mental space.
for sure. I always tell people nature is my medicine. Nature is my therapy. If I'm having a rough day, if I can just go outside for 20 minutes, even sometimes, like sitting here with you right now, it's like, oh, this feels so good. It's a little bit chilly and you feel the wind in your hair.
Feel alive.
Oh, you feel alive. And so going outside for me is always makes me feel better. And a big part of my videos, that's what I talk about, is like, once you get outside, you are always going to feel better having done it. You're never going to go on a run or a bike ride and come home and be like, dang, I wish I didn't do that. That's not how it works. You're going to go outside, you're going to feel better. You get the endorphins moving. Maybe you see a really cool bird that you've never seen, you move your body, and yeah, for sure.
So, if you had 24 hours in your dream place, dream location, being outside, where would it be and what would you be doing?
Oh man, this world is a big, beautiful place. That's a hard question, but I'm going to take myself to one of my favorite landscapes on the planet right now, and that's the desert Southwest, Moab area. So waking up in the desert, the red rocks, the sun is rising, it's illuminating them. It's almost like they're glowing orange. And I have my tent. I've been sleeping under the stars. My bike is right there. I pack up my stuff, get on my bike, and just ride it on the gravel dirt roads. There's no better sound than your tires crunching gravel as you're riding on a road in the middle of nowhere. And I also really love the Canyonlands area. So in this little fantasy that I'm having, I'm riding next to these canyon walls and I'm whooping and hollering and it echoes through the canyons. And, the day probably ends with me finding a sweet perch on top of a canyon and looking out over this beautiful desert as the sun is setting. Again, the light is illuminating the rocks, and I have a bean burrito in my hand.
Oh yeah.
That is my dream day. Yes, that's awesome. My dream day. And then I'll do it again and again and again.
Can't get tired of that. And then going back one last time, how do you see your experiences of your youth impacting you as you continue into your adulthood to keep the outdoors as a central part of your life and keep maintaining that connection throughout your entire life with nature and our beautiful world?
So I'm really grateful that I grew up in this town, in a community that values being outside. And I'm really grateful that I got into running and biking at a young age, because now I'm 45 years old and I'm still just as active as ever. My body is still as strong as it's ever been. I'm still running 100-mile races and riding my bike thousands of miles. And so I think because I started at a young age, my body has strengthened to the point where it's like, oh, we know how to do this. Like, so I can just walk out my door at any time and go on a nice long run. And I think health is such a big positive in my life, you know, that I can wake up and feel good and not have any chronic illness or whatever. And I think a big part of that is because I go outside a lot, and I run, and I do exercise, and just, you get time to like clear your mind when you go outside, and time to connect with the animals and nature. And also when I'm outside, there's lots of other humans on these trails, and I make wonderful friends with these people all over the world. And so when you're connecting with nature, you're connecting with yourself, and you're connecting with other people, like that is like the three best
That
things
trifecta.
right there. And so 45 years old, I hope to keep on doing this for the rest of my life, obviously. And I think through my videos, hopefully I'm inspiring younger people to pick this up.
Yeah.
You know, I get emails every day from people saying, oh, I watched your videos. I'm 17, I'm still in high school, so I can't leave for too long, but once I graduate, I'm going to ride my bike across the country or something. And so that really makes me happy. And I think if we can get more people just getting outside, and they don't have to even be doing gigantic adventures. It could just be like every day after work, you go on a jog, or you go on a hike, or you climb a tree in your backyard, whatever it is. Just as long as you're outside and connecting, I think our planet is going to benefit from that.
Alrighty, well, that sounds like a lot of awesome stuff from Ryan Van Duzer. Look up his YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. He's got great videos. So yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you. It's been fun to chat with you.